Hi guys and welcome back to Bunnies in the Burbs, our family kitchen. My name is Taynita and our guest today is Nothando Migogo. I hope I said it right.
Yeah, Nothando Migogo.
Nothando is a pioneer. She is a remarkable woman and she deals with intellectual property rights. She deals with lots of South African and African business when it comes to intellectual property rights as well. She's also very passionate about the same things that I'm passionate about, being the continent, changing the narrative and showing a positive light on our continent. So do you want to tell us more about yourself? And thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here. Yes, I'm a professional in the intellectual property field, specifically in the entertainment sector. So we are the boring bankers behind the exciting artists. We collect royalties, distribute royalties. What I've been doing for the last almost 3 years is starting up a mechanical rights hub. Mechanical rights are a type of intellectual property, or type of copyright rather. And we license digital music in South Africa and basically many countries on the continent as well. So your download sites, your streaming music sites, your video on demand, the organization I work for, which is Capasso, licenses and distributes those royalties. And we've done a fantastic job in the last 2.5 to 3 years. We've got a fantastic team. We have doubled the royalties that were being collected before we started up, and yeah, it's really exciting.
But we're making one of your favorite dishes today, or a few of your favorite dishes today.
Yeah, so when I thought about what I would make on the show, I thought, okay, you know, there are a whole lot of fancy recipes that I do know or do attempt.
Yeah.
But where I am right now, my headspace spiritually is a very sort of homecoming kind of space.
Yeah.
And of late I've been craving this particular dish that I'm making today, which is really just pap with your beef stew and spinach on the side. And I remember, it's so funny, you know, you grow up eating something and then you get to a stage where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want that, it's so boring, I can't believe my mom keeps cooking that, and you go and, you know, try all these different types of dishes, and then you get to a stage where you're like, oh my gosh, that's all I really want, what my mom used to make when I was growing up. So this is what I'm hoping to share. I'm going to show some variations. So the beef stew will make a straight beef stew, but also show you a bean variation on that, yeah.
Okay, so what are the ingredients that you'll need for this?
Okay, so you need stewing beef. I like to use short rib, but you can use anything. I mean, you can, you know, just whatever you get to the when you get to the store that says stewing beef.
Yeah,
that's cool. We're using beans. So what I did is I used kidney beans and some red speckled beans.
Yeah.
So you soak them, overnight. Yeah, I soaked mine overnight. Then I don't have a pressure cooker at the moment, so I like cook them forever and ever and ever. So I bought them already boiled. So that's that, because obviously you need to prep for beans. Anyone who's ever made beans knows there's no shortcuts.
Yeah, no, definitely. And a nice thing about these beans is that we've actually got an episode that we're showing people how to do that. So if you guys stay tuned, you guys can see how to make them as well.
Cool.
Okay, what else do we need?
Then you have some spinach. Growing up, my mom used to make it with something called chomolia. It's not that common, but it was like kale. I know like a lot of people like kale diet,
The health
diet. So chomolia is what we used to use, but you can use chomolia, kale, spinach, you know, any greens that you really like. We've got 3 tomatoes here. We've got 2 onion there. We've got some oil, cooking oil. So because we're healthy and fancy, now we've got olive oil, but you can use any oil. I mean, I don't remember my mom using olive oil when I was small. Then we've got stock cube, which is we've dissolved there in some hot water. Then your spices for the beans, I like to sort of give them a very warm flavor. So we've got some masala. I've got actually a masala mix here. Some turmeric. I'll probably use turmeric and masala just to give them a nice color, a nice flavor.
Yeah.
And then we've got some garlic, paprika, black pepper. We've got some peanut butter, which we're going to use for the spinach, which is a nice little twist. We've got some chili that we'll use for the beans, and some salt, black pepper, which we'll grind in. that's basically it. It's a pretty simple, straightforward recipe.
I'm actually really excited to get started.
Cool.
Okay. So now we're going to start with your preparing of the meat, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll just add black pepper and salt. Nothing too fancy right now. We're just going to keep the flavor of the beef, I guess.
So I know you said that this is a dish that you make, or your mom made for you. Is this a dish that you make for your kids? Because Nothando has 2 kids, right?
Yeah. The 2 kids, Lerato and Chinwe.
Your favorite people.
My favorite people. I do make this dish for them, but I think sometimes they get a bit like, can we have spaghetti now? Can we have this? But they do enjoy it. It hits the spot. Like if you're really hungry, pap and meat.
And home food always does that. Like
Yeah.
food that your mom has made or your grand's made. It always makes you feel like warm inside.
Yeah. Cool. So this is ready to go onto the stove. What we'll do is just brown it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you put the stove on for you.
Awesome.
And do you want me to put some oil in here?
Please.
Okay, what are we doing next?
Right, we're gonna put the meat onto the stove. Let's put some oil.
Okay. Just
There we
enough
go.
to...
Just enough, just to cover the base quite nicely. Actually, you can't. Good. The pot is already hot, so we can actually.
Yeah,
Probably,
you just want to watch with these pots because they don't have handles.
Okay, no stress. Okay, let's put it all in.
Okay.
There you go. Let's add a bit of heat.
And then are you just browning it or?
So what we're gonna do here is brown the meat. Yeah, it's on. What we're gonna do is brown the meat. Once it's nice and brown, we'll add some onion and some garlic. And once that's just gets a bit translucent, then we'll add some tomato. And then from there, we're going to separate because we're doing our variation.
Yeah.
So put a bit of meat in this other pot, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea just to get that started a little bit. So just a bit of oil, not too much. Actually, I'm going to take some out because we would have already cooked most of the meat here. And then add the meat there, add some beans, and then we're done with our meat.
Okay, yay. Cool. So, with the work that you do, I'm sure you work a lot on the continent and it's something that you're passionate about. But beyond that, my mom says she knows you because you guys went to Venda together, you guys did yoga together apparently. So I feel like that shows how interconnected everybody can be if they're willing to help each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not all work, right? I mean, work is an important aspect, but we're people first and foremost, and we've got souls, and we need to do things that feed our souls.
Yeah.
And I think that's, for me, that's been my yoga journey. I'm a qualified yoga teacher. And so when I did yoga with your mom, I used to run a yoga studio called Iteru House. It's more than just yoga. In fact, it still exists conceptually, but it was really a space where people could nourish themselves. So your body, nourish your body, nourish your soul, nourish your mind. And so your mom was great enough to come in and join us for some yoga, which was really, really awesome. And we've had some pretty nice journeys with your mom. I mean, I've known her for a couple of years now, so it's really an amazing relationship to watch grow.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So our meat is all browned and done. So what do we do next?
Add some onion.
Half of.
Yeah, so we said we'll have just a bit more than half of what we chopped up.
Okay.
Garlic, so a full clove. This is crushed garlic. So just a small teaspoon of garlic, and we just fry that in.
An Indian pot. It doesn't have the
It doesn't have the handle, which is cool. Which is cool. It works. There we go.
Okay. Do you want some water? No.
Maybe just a little bit of water, just so it doesn't get too. Just very little, not too much. It's coming. Is it coming? Come, water. Yes, there you go.
Okay.
There we go. Just to take out the sting.
From the onion.
Yeah.
So you want your onions cooked down? Or?
Yeah, not too long. Just to give them that clear, nice kind of.
So did your mom also do this variation, or just like your own thing?
Yeah, no, my mom. Well, she never used to add. She used to do a variation of the variation. She didn't make it spicy. I like my beef stew quite spicy. But yeah, no, she used to add this. And obviously, one bean hack that I love is that when you're boiling your beans, when you're getting them to cook, you know those bowls that they sell at the supermarket, like the plastic bag of bowls, like 10 rand.
Oh, for like stock and stuff.
Yeah. Add those bones in there. Just let it simmer with the bones, and you can take the bones out when you serve. I love to serve it with the bones because I love to like violate my teeth and like chew those bones. But like it makes it really, really tasty. Okay. So now we can add some tomato. Right. Also about half of what we had. There we go. Because the rest of this we're gonna add with the spinach, the makaya beef. That's what we like to call it, makaya beef.
And I feel like that's all like what the show's about. Going back to what makes you feel happy in the kitchen and what makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let this cook down for a little bit.
We'll let it cook down, but let's start with the variation.
Okay,
so
sure.
we'll add the beans.
And that's about what? Like a cup more?
Of the beans.
Yeah.
Oh geez, this is probably like 2 cups of beans.
2 cups of beans.
2 cups of cooked beans. When I remember the first time I ever cooked beans. I don't know, I didn't quite get the brief that you need to like soak them.
Oh no.
And I was like, it's probably like 4 o'clock. Like, I'm gonna make beans for dinner.
Oh, no.
It was 8. I was like, why are they not cooking?
I feel like it's gonna end badly.
It ended very badly. No one ate that meal. With stewing beef, you actually need to let it simmer for quite some time. You need to let it cook. So this is just like the beans. You're gonna have to, let them cook for a while. So I normally leave my beef to cook for about an hour and a half.
You get your lid.
Right. So I'll leave that for a bit, and then we can start with adding some spices onto the.
This is the masala daba.
Okay.
So what do you want to put in here?
So some turmeric, which will give it a nice color. So probably like, depending on how you want to go, like half a teaspoon. Okay, should be good. And this is the masala, right?
Yeah.
Also maybe like 3/4 of a teaspoon. Okay. And then can I have some of the paprika?
Sure.
And the chili, the chopped chili.
Okay, so you are making it a little bit spicy.
A little bit spicy, yeah. And add some of the paprika in there.
And I'm sure it also gives it a very pretty color.
It does. So just add that in there.
And you let it just sit also for a little.
Also just let it sit for a little bit. Is this on? Yes, it is. So
do you want to make it a little bit higher? Or is it more of a simmer?
More of a simmer, it'll be fine. And what I'll do is now, so that the flavor gets in with the beef, add the beef that we're going to have in here right now, so it cooks with the beans.
Okay.
Right. So you can use a different spoon.
So it's just about half of what you need.
Yeah, just about half of what we use. Yeah.
So onion, tomato, and everything.
Just take everything and put it across. Right. Cool. Maybe just a bit more of that. That's fine. I'm gonna close this again. If I put more than half, oh well.
It's fine.
Sorry for you.
We're eyeballing it.
This pot. Okay, and then we can just mix this up. It's already starting to look yummy.
It is, and it smells very good. I wish they could smell it. It smells amazing.
Cool. So this is all about simmering, all about leaving it in and forgetting about it. So I'm gonna put it on sort of a low to medium heat and let it chill.